threat of disaster is never pleasant.
Welcome to the Casual Preppers podcast.
These safety measures are essential.
The only place for prepping, survival, and entertainment.
This will be your source of survival instructions and information. Every member of the family must be coached in the business of survival.
Here are your hosts, Cam and Kobe.
We can make our own
That's crunching bones.
Halloween soundtrack, right?
Yeah.
Those are the best.
My mom played that tape.
Yeah.
I remember it was orange,
A
too.
cassette tape. I had one too.
Orange, black
like-
writing.
yeah.
It was like bones crunching, howling, wind, and chains.
Yeah.
And she'd flip that sucker over and play it
All
like
day
all day long.
All October.
I sure
right?
basically. And then as soon as that one's done, it was Christmas Chipmunks.
Oh, heck
for
yeah,
another
man.
2 months.
Yeah.
So.
But no, the a spooky season continues here at Casual Preppers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I figured why not?
Why not?
Like, we were like, why don't we just make it scary all the way around?
All
Let's just keep going with
freaking
it.
month.
I was just talking to my brother. I think mid-September to like mid-October is like the
End
best
of
time of
October,
the year.
all the way through
I like
October.
it. It's just that last week can be a real dirty whore.
Sure, yeah.
It can be cold,
Yeah, it
snow
can.
sometimes.
It can.
But
It's been good so far, though.
it's been amazing.
Pretty dang good.
Been
man.
amazing. It's like 70 degrees. And that's rare. But I love it. But it's
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, then like a weird laugh or somewhere in there. Something like that.
people make money on that.
Yeah.
They make money on those things.
You imagine like some guy going to his boss, listen to this, boss. We're going to make a bunch of scary sounds.
I want you to listen to the whole thing flipping around. Side B, super scary.
Yeah, we're going to sell this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hit.
And it was.
It was. Everybody had it.
Yeah, everybody had that tape,
it,
man.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw it like it was like a few months ago at my parents' house digging through the drawer for some candy or something. I was like, there's that tape.
Oh, man.
The orange one, man.
Should have brought it home.
It was a good one. Maybe they were all orange, but I don't know. But anyway, let's talk about some haunted places.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it.
I've wanted to do this because like I remember growing up, you always talked about your hometown and the haunted houses. Did I ever tell you about the haunted house in Bear River City?
I think
I might have mentioned it before.
Some haunted place.
So it's called Dead Man's Cave.
Dead Man's Cave. That's what it was.
Long story short, motorcycler went off down that, got his head cut off.
Yeah.
Put a carp in place of his head. He
carp.
still roams the banks of the Bear River.
You don't want to
this
see
day.
that. That's a scary thing to come
Dead
upon.
Man's Cave.
Dead Man's Cave.
Scary. Also, you can go and park on the bridge at midnight, and there's a baby crying down on the river.
Yeah.
Sometimes it glows blue.
You take your lady down
I
there.
tried to do it a couple of times on dates in high school. I'm like, come on.
That's it.
I gotta be home 5 minutes. My mom's gonna
Curfew's
be,
midnight.
We're not gonna catch it at the right time because
Yeah.
I got 50 minutes to get you home and get myself back home.
Don't make no sense.
Or I got to milk in the morning. That was my punishment.
I work at a dairy. That ain't a weird thing to say.
Smell those hands? You smell that's cow poop and
That smells like an udder.
that's powdered milk.
That's an udder.
Enjoy
baby.
it.
Yeah. You ever smelled an udder?
Take a whiff of that.
Take a whiff of that, baby.
That's pretty good.
Now what you think?
Did I ever tell you I had a watch that I always wore, and I like when I fed calves, like it was just caked with like powdered milk and
Oh,
like
really?
it stunk
Mixing
so bad.
the cow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's fun.
couldn't wash it off.
Heck no.
But anyway, before we get into this scary episode, I want to tell you about something that's can be scary for some.
Yeah.
It's self-reliant medical care.
Scares
You may
you.
not feel confident enough to do it on your own. There's a way that you can learn up on it.
I wanna
You
learn
just
up
get
on
the
it.
Prepper's Medical Handbook by wilderness medicine expert and genius William W. Forgy.
Beard
dude's-
model, probably.
He is a beard model.
God, his beard is glorious.
Like I instantly feel like he could just solve any medical problem.
Yeah.
Just look like the look of him. I'm
Like I got a
dude's-
problem. I got cancer. I have a brain tumor. I've got
He
AIDS.
just looks at you for like 2 minutes. He's like, I can tell you what's going on.
Let me tell you. Now he sounds like Charles Hapgood.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe he is Charles Hapgood.
I don't know.
Anyway, this book is probably one of the best medical handbooks that I think you can have in your
agree.
prepper library because it's easy to read. It's not super complicated. It goes over key points that are going to help you and your family survive with minimal medical training.
Yeah.
Go get it. It's a Prepper's Medical Handbook. You can get it at preppersmedicalhandbook.com or just go to Amazon where everybody else goes.
Yeah.
It's a good book. You'll love it. Give it to yourself and to others for Christmas.
Give it to yourself.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah, so let's talk about some haunted places around the world.
Yeah.
We're gonna kind of focus on Europe and North America.
Most
Because
important
there's
places,
so
right?
many. Yeah, do the other places even exist? I don't know. These are the most important places. We hear you, Australia. I know.
You're out there.
You got the haunted
You're
kangaroos.
basically a piece of Europe, right?
Yeah.
That's where your history.
That's where you came from anyways.
Yeah.
You were all... Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so let's talk about that.
Didn't we
come
all come from Europe,
yeah.
basically? Yeah, so it was kind of hard. There's so many things to talk about.
Yep.
That I kind of picked the ones that I thought were most interesting and had kind of good stories. I don't know what Kobe did. He did his own thing. So.
I did my own thing.
Let's talk about a little place called Hoya Baciu.
What's that now?
Hoya Baciu. I don't know how to say it.
Hoya Baciu.
It's in Romania.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just outside of Cluj-Napoca.
You said Club Napoca?
Yes. Which is Romania's second city in the depths of Transylvania.
I've always wanted to go to Transylvania.
I do so bad because there's so many things around there. I think it's just like the center of Halloween. It's like it was all created there.
Mm.
I have actually one or two or three from Transylvania area. Or Romania, I should say. Anyways, it's called the creepiest forest in the world.
Wow.
I hadn't even heard about it.
I haven't either.
But now you will.
Yeah.
So, allegedly, well, you know what? I think we actually did mention this at one point because there was a UFO sighting there.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, there's a clearing there that is allegedly the creepiest part of the forest. It defies investigations of soil scientists.
Oh, no. I don't know what this is. Look at this soil.
The best of the best of soil scientists have tested it, and they can't figure it out.
I don't know.
I don't know where this comes from.
Weird dirt.
And it attracts Romanian witches. Apparently, they're still there. Sword-wielding Americans. And people who try to cleanse the forest of evil through medium of yoga.
So there's
People flock there, man. They're
to go
trying
do
figure
yoga.
out- Yeah.
And the guy,
They're trying to purge the earth of
So what are the
evil.
Americans doing with swords?
I don't even know. That is the only part that doesn't fit.
Maybe
in
it's like sword yoga. That sounds like an American thing. Come on down, try sword yoga.
you want to LARP and do a little yoga?
Yeah, can you imagine? That's a way to do it.
I'd watch that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the place is named after a shepherd who went missing in the forest with a flock of 200 sheep. Just all of them, I guess, disappeared.
Just gone.
So, it came to international attention in 1968 when Emil Barnea, a military technician, photographed what he claimed was a UFO hovering over the clearing.
For sure.
They say that this clearing, too, the grass and everything just doesn't grow. Like, there's no vegetation in this clearing. But then the rest of the forest is creepy in and of itself.
Interesting.
Visitors that visit the area, they say they experience nausea, anxiety, the feeling of being watched.
Okay.
And the failure of electronic devices. So it's like a weird magnet location.
Okay.
There's a bunch of EMPs going. Ectoplasms, of course, are often routinely seen by joggers brave enough
So
to enter.
ectoplasms, that's like Slimer, basically.
It's got to be Slimer,
It's
right?
like Slimer type thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Which would be the coolest ghost to come across?
Oh, yeah.
Slimer,
Can you imagine?
man.
I'd be like, can I get a
Be
selfie,
all
bro?
fat, blubbery,
Yeah.
little, all pissed off.
Give him some food.
Yeah, so a lot of things have been seen there. Many of the trees also grow in a zigzag pattern or in spirals.
Like they grow like this?
They grow like zigzaggy.
Wow.
No one knows why. Tree scientists and soil scientists have been trying to figure it out.
They
for
are
years.
perplexed.
Yeah. Scientists who have come to investigate, they just can't figure out why. And every single tree that spirals does so in a clockwise direction.
What?
Don't know why it happens.
What?
So it's weird.
Yeah, that's
It's a weird
crazy.
place. A group of people always, they're trying to get hits on YouTube. So
Yeah.
they go and spend the night there and try and explain like what their experiences are. There's two guys that go and do this. One of them's Alex and the other one Marius. I don't know their last names. Couldn't find. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
But apparently they went and stayed the night there, and they said that they had heard over and over like very loud hoof noises. Hoof. Like horses or a particularly large deer, just over and over. But when they'd stick their heads out of their tents, they didn't see anything.
Interesting.
That was weird.
Yeah.
The next night that they slept, as I think it was Alex was sleeping in his hammock, He waited to see if he could hear the sound again, and then boom, a bat smashed into his face.
Like a flying bat or like a baseball bat? Like somebody just came and hit him with a baseball bat.
One of the joggers just put it right across his nose. You don't sleep here.
Yeah, get out that stupid hammock.
So, apparently I was super weird. And
you one of them sword
the
yoga
other
guys?
guy, he stayed there on another occasion, but apparently he stayed there with a very morbid man who talked about his obsession with death and how he enjoyed being with people as they died.
What?
And he said that was the scariest time he'd ever been in the forest. Well, yeah, you picked a real freaking weirdo.
Yeah, come on, Marys, get some better friends.
Apparently this forest has a lot of weird stuff around it.
Interesting.
And people have seen Slimer.
Hoya,
so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
let's go check it out.
Go check it out. Gunuhver, Iceland. Gunuhver. This one sounds kind of cool because it has like a really good legend.
Okay.
There's a lady. Her name, it's named after Guna, a woman who lived there in Reykjanes Peninsula. I don't know. 400 years ago. Guna lived on the peninsula in a small house. It was owned by a lawyer named basically William. Isn't that how you say
Wilhelmer
Johnson?
William Johnson. Yeah.
William Johnson.
I'm the attorney on this here island. You been in a car wreck?
Got to have a lawyer everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Locals suspected her of being a witch because of a mysterious pot in her house that was always brewing something.
Oh, my
What's
gosh.
she doing in there?
You making a stew? What is it?
The little accusations of being a witch, they're like, she's cooking all the time. It's weird.
She always got something on that pot.
So anyway, what happened was basically the lawyer guy owned the land, and he's like, she wasn't paying her rent, so he took away her pot. He went in.
Well, that doesn't seem like the way to do it.
I know.
Right?
He took away the very thing that she was using to, conjure up whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, she was so mad about it that she just starved herself to death.
That doesn't seem like the best way to go about it, right?
She was so mad.
You take my pot, I ain't eating
I ain't
no
eating
more.
that more. I can't cook it.
Yeah.
So she ended up dying. During her funeral, the men who carried her coffin to the cemetery had noticed that the coffin was oddly lighter. Well, she
hadn't-
starved herself to
She
death.
hadn't eaten.
But yeah, they were like, that's weird. It's almost like no one's in there. As they were digging her grave, they heard Guna's specter scream, no need deep dig, no plans long to lie. It was like the weirdest, I think that was poorly interpreted.
Some broken English there
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense.
The next day, Johnson was discovered dead.
Oh my gosh.
So he took the pot. She starved herself to death. When she died, the next day
He died.
he was found dead, and his body was bruised with broken bones. They believe that she got her revenge.
Sure.
She went and beat him to death.
Yeah.
The angry poltergeist wasn't content at that. She continued to terrorize people throughout the whole peninsula. Frustrated, they ended up finding a priest that could kind of like
get rid of her.
Yeah, get rid of her.
It's like
it's kind of a weird way. He came up with this ball of twine, like those big ball and chain things.
Sure.
That somehow she got trapped in, and they threw it in, pulling her into the hot pot there that's still there today. The spring, it's a geyser, and they say it goes off.
So they kind of just glossed over the part that how they got her into that thing.
Yeah, they said that. Yeah, it didn't ever say exactly how they trapped her. Yeah. Like he's some kind of Ghostbuster.
So did you come up and go, piece of cake, piece of quum cake? Remember from Casper when they're trying to get all the people to get rid of the ghosts?
That's exactly what was going on.
Interesting.
So anyways, he captured her, threw her into the pot, and apparently they say that she never went all the way in and that she lives on the edges of the pot, and she comes out. Still, you can see her ghost and apparition every once in a while.
That's unfortunate for her.
Not the most exciting, but kind of a cool story behind it.
Yeah. I like that one.
This one probably has the most disturbing history. Okay. Just a really messed up castle. Okay. Musham Castle outside of Salzburg, Austria. Musham Castle, or Schloss Musham, is a medieval castle in Unternberg region, Salzburg, Austria, built on Roman foundation as early as 1191, which is crazy how old it is. Anyways, it had seen multiple wars, so it was a really good. It's stationed or positioned really well to be like a strongly and heavily guarded fort.
A stronghold for some
Very
wars.
good stronghold
Yeah.
because of the position and how it can. Basically, you have to climb a hill to get to it.
Okay,
It's a really good.
That's perfect. That's where you
location.
put castles.
That's where you put castles or
Yeah.
LDS temples.
Or LDS temples.
Anyway, because it oversees the whole town and everything
Sure.
like that. It's gone through like Flemish revolt and anyway, I'm not gonna go into all that history.
Yeah, okay.
Castle was besieged by peasants during the German Peasants' War, so lots of death, lots of blood. But what was most interesting was the witch hunt of like 1675.
Okay.
So-called Zauberjackal trials.
Okay.
Zauberjackal. Led to the execution of 139 people. Most of them were actually male.
What?
The mass hysteria started with Barbara Colleran, who was arrested for theft and sorcery in 1675. She was put on trial with her partner, Paul Kalthenpacker. During torture, Barbara confessed that her son, Paul Jacob Kohler, had made a pact with Satan.
Oh.
Wait. Here you get my son.
Before you pull off my arms, let me tell you about my son.
Before you cut me in half,
Yeah.
my son made a pact with Satan.
I have a tale to tell.
Go ask Paul. So
Yeah.
she did. They did. Paul Kalthenberg confirmed her story. She's right.
Of course.
He is the devil's child.
Yep,
Barbara was
that.
executed in August of that year,
Huh.
and the hunt for Jacob began. They were like, let's kill her.
Yeah.
Let's go find this witch. In 1677, the government received news that Jacob was dead.
Of course,
But
yeah.
when they arrested a young beggar named Dionyso Feldner,
Mm-hmm.
that news was contradicted. The 12-year-old handicapped Feldner, also known as Dirty Animal.
That's what they call him on the streets.
Poor kid.
That was his
Little crippled
That's
boy.
dirty animal over there.
That
No,
shit
that's
don't mess with
that's
dirty
a
animal.
12-year-old handicapped kid. We call him dirty animal.
No, that was pretty sad.
Poor little handicapped kid.
He told the authorities that he had been in contact with Jacob shortly before his arrest.
Oh,
According to him, Jacob, or Jackal, was the leader of a gang of beggar children and teenagers from the slum.
What?
Yeah. Feldner also claimed Jackal had taught the children black magic.
No, you don't do that.
So, anyways, they freaked out and ended up just gathering up all these kids and homeless and just torturing them to death.
Okay.
So that's how that was taken care of.
'Kay.
Those were the witch trials of Musham Castle.
Musham Castle.
The castle was involved in the whole process: administration, the court, the imprisonment and torture and execution of 139. 113 were males.
So they were just going
the boys.
after the boys.
Yeah, weird, huh? That's kind of different. 39 were just children. The youngest was 10. Most of them were between ages 15 and 21.
Jeez.
And then somehow an 80-year-old lady was part of
She
that.
was also kind of part of the
I
gang.
don't know if she's feeding them or
She was
she was
making
like the
stew.
foster mom.
Yeah.
But she got killed too.
Living in her basement.
Before the followers of Jackal were executed, they were brutally tortured. A lot of them, like their hands were cut off. They were burned with an iron and hanged and decapitated.
Wow.
And to this day, people can still hear and see like the spirits of these boys wandering around.
I could see that.
So anyway, that all happened. Things kind of settled down for about 100 years. And then a bailiff came to power his name was Anton.
Okay.
Scrotum Tony.
Scrotum
He
Tony.
was super cruel and tortured prisoners, so the evil came back.
Yeah, it came back.
And there's a story that goes along with that. One night, a carriage showed up with a man in a black cape and came and found Tony, who was drunken, and said, "Good night, dear man. I come from hell, and my prince ordered me to prepare you for your journey."
Oh, gosh. that's not
Tony
what you
started to
wanna
plead.
hear.
He knew this day was coming eventually, but he wasn't ready to face his fate. But the dark figure was ruthless and dragged Tony along in his carriage and took him down to hell for eternity.
Wow, in a carriage.
Yeah, yep.
Oh.
Then, like, not too long after that, local deer and stock were found killed and mutilated around the castle. And so then superstition grew that there were werewolves and vampires
Yes.
and all that.
There was.
So it's just like death, and then people just like, anything just triggered them to freak out.
We
There's
gotta
a
go
lot
to
of
this
mass
place.
hysteria.
This place sounds awesome.
It does look amazing. Anyways, they believed these people had turned into werewolves at night, feasting on the flesh of these animals. The locals went up to the castle, captured the residents, and murdered them in their own courtyard. After this, the castle was abandoned. Yeah.
Don't want to
So-
go there no more.
Still, they believe there's werewolves and witches that roam around the area to this day. Visitors say when they go there, They feel like they're being watched. Everybody feels like they're being watched in Romania.
I know,
or
yeah.
in Austria or any of those areas. They also feel the touch of ghosts. They've gone into, when you go into like the torture chambers, they feel like they're being breathed upon. That's the worst.
I don't like that.
Have you ever been into like, you know, when like a room's like super, super cold, and that's always like there's spirits.
Yeah, sure.
Cold spirits.
Yeah.
They were feeling that too.
Okay.
Disembodied voices have been heard during EVP sessions.
Okay.
A dark presence often felt in Tony's room because he's dragged to hell, obviously. And doors tend to open and close on their own. There are also claims of people hearing footsteps, and when they turn around, there's no one there. Banging noises are often heard as well, of course.
Man.
Somebody's playing that little tape
Yeah.
over and over.
Got her in the
People are freaking out.
basement.
So there's a lot that went on there.
Yeah.
Lots of battles, lots of death, lots of children murdered, and werewolves and witches.
That's a wonderful story.
And so if you ever want to go there, that's Musham Castle outside of Salzburg.
They should make
Austria.
it an Airbnb.
I want to go to Austria.
I'd love to go to stay at Musham Castle for the night.
Musham sounds real nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So on to Germany. I can't say this one.
Pfaueninsel.
Pfaueninsel,
Berlin.
on the beautiful island of Pfaueninsel in Berlin.
Pfaueninsel. You went a little Arnold there. That was pretty good.
Pfaueninsel. There are rumors about the soul of an alchemist doing magic, black magic, still to this day. His name was Johann Kunkel.
Kunkel. Yeah, I got an uncle named Kunkel.
He was an alchemist that was known to dabble in black magic on the secret island. So this island was actually, it kind of sits off and it's surrounded by water because it's an island. But it's in a really weird place, like in
Typical of
near Berlin.
islands.
Yeah,
Surrounded
I
by
don't know why
water.
I was like, why did I say it that way? I was gonna say moat, but
Yeah, sure.
but he was known to be able to like forge rubies.
Really?
And so I don't know who was in power at the time, but they're like, you get your own little island and you go and make me some rubies.
Go get those rubies going.
But it was believed that he was also practicing black magic.
Well,
there.
if you can forge rubies, of course you're going to do some black magic.
And he was by himself. You know, he can do all kinds of black
He was
magic when no one's
surrounded by
around you.
water.
Yes, like
On
an
this
island.
island. It was an
Like
island.
an island.
Just like an island.
Anyways, people had said that they, black smoke and the smell of chemicals were coming from the island all around. Like farmers were always like, stinks over there.
Smells weird.
He's doing weird stuff.
Yeah, what's going on that
And then
island?
they get paid rubies and they're like, that's fine. You
I
can
don't
do
care
whatever
about
you
that
want.
smoke no more. It's fine.
Anyways, when the great elector died, the person that had him doing all this, his support was obviously fell through, and he ended up just burning down the location that he lived in.
Jeez,
and
that
fled.
seems like
he went to Swedish king. And
Okay.
he gave up on the Germans and went and
Sweden.
found the Swedish king and became his jewel maker, I guess.
Ruby
But
maker.
which is weird. I'm like, they still believe to this day they can see a figure that's like caped up, like came from Skyrim, and has like glowing red eyes, and they believe it's
This
Johann
dude.
still doing his black magic.
Okay.
Even though he went and lived with the
Sweden.
Swedes, and he was fine. But the thing is that this island was used for Prussian King Frederick William II as mistress. He actually built a castle there
For her.
and he brought in all these exotic animals. He had alligator, buffalo, kangaroo, monkeys, lions,
Wow.
peacocks, all over on the island.
It's like a zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Berlin decided, let's bring them all to the zoo.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
you can still, like, if you go there, a lot of people say you can still see exotic birds that don't belong there in Berlin.
Oh, that's
And
kinda
you can
cool.
sometimes see Johann Kunkel out there doing his black magic thing.
Just making
So it's a
rubies.
haunted island. I
Yeah.
kind of want to find out.
That'd be
where
fun to
it's
go see.
Really, yeah.
You'd have to get some sort of a boat because
Yeah.
it's surrounded by water.
Yeah, it is because it's an island.
Yeah.
Seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
Can there be islands inland when they aren't connected to the sea?
Yeah. Yeah. You can have an
I don't think
island.
so.
You can have an inland
kidding.
island.
There you go.
Inland island.
Bran Castle.
Oh, this place
Heard of
make
this
me
one, right?
shit.
I know. Yeah. Many
That's
people
a
are
good
known
one.
to go there, and yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bring some raisins.
Bran Castle's pretty famous because a lot of people believe this is where Dracula came
Yeah.
from. And where Bram Stoker got his idea for Dracula. Because there's a person there, they don't even know if he actually lived there or if he just stayed there or what. But
Oh, okay.
there's a story behind it. So his name was Vlad the Impaler.
Yep.
due to his violent means of basically impaling everybody that was his enemy.
He was
or
all
not.
about it. He liked impaling.
He just freaking impaling everybody.
Yeah.
And he's like bloodthirsty, and they were just like, he's kind of crazy. Maybe he was just drinking blood. So that's where, and he came from, I think it was like Dracul, the family of dragons. So it's like, that's where you get this Dracula. Anyways, don't follow anything I just said there. Just believe it.
Don't worry, I didn't.
But no, Vlad the Impaler was a real person. The son of dragon. So that's where you got like Vlad Dracul. So Dracula, Vlad, he impales people, bloodthirsty. So that's where you get the whole like Dracula lived in this castle. Since then, so there's been like tons of deaths there, tons of torture, just like that Musham or whatever. They even have a Halloween party there.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. That they
Heck
host, and it's all, vampire based and Dracula and stuff like that. So, but they believe that Vlad had killed 80,000 people in his lifetime.
Jeez.
So obviously there's going to be some ghosts.
He's working hard.
A lot of people. Yeah.
Did he impale all of them?
He impaled a ton. Yeah.
Jeez.
So, lucky for us, a Florida-based ghost hunting team went and investigated the castle. It's a 4-person team. And they went there with all the tools that you'd like to have as ghost hunters. Spirit box, dowsing rods. And they went and spent like 6 hours there trying to talk to Vlad
That's
himself.
it? Just 6 hours?
Yeah, yes. That was the time all they could book.
Yeah.
They
We
split it
got a
up between
birthday
the 4 of
party
them.
at 7.
Sorry about that.
We got 6 hours. You burped on the podcast.
I did.
Oh,
I tried
crap.
to turn away.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry about that. Vlad's coming in.
Yeah.
The spirit.
Spirit's
of
coming
Vlad.
out.
So anyways, holding a dowsing rod in each hand, McGuire asked a series of
McGuire.
Is it McGuire? Oh,
I
yeah.
would think so. Like Toby or Mark.
Yeah. This lady, okay,
Yeah, okay.
she started to ask yes and no questions. The easiest of all ghost questions.
Yes or no, are you a ghost?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I would ask.
Spread the dowsing rods outward for yes and move them inward for no.
Oh,
You push them out, push them in.
In and
Told the
out.
ghost. So, Vlad was also known as Tepes.
Vlad Tepes.
Yeah. They asked the spirit these yes and no questions. She asked to spin the rods if he was once imprisoned there. They spun fast.
Heck yeah.
He was there. She asked Tepes to answer yes or no whether he used the castle as a military outpost. Guess what? They moved inward. So I think that was a yes.
I think so.
Yes, and move them inward. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was there, imprisoned, and he also had military outpost. So there you have it. That's
Wow,
it.
that's pretty cool.
Tepes was only imprisoned there. Oh, no. So that was a no. No, he didn't have a military outpost. Yes, he was imprisoned there.
Oh, okay.
And ask if she believes that Tepes' ghost communicated with her, and she says, I think it's a good possibility. Yes.
Ooh.
So there,
crazy.
it's been confirmed that he actually didn't live there. He was imprisoned
Man,
there.
speaking of
still-
Dracula,
Still cool.
do you remember the 1990s?
It's a creepy looking castle.
Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, the movie with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
That creeped me out, dude. It
Really?
is like, that movie is so creepy. Don't you think so? Like Dracula.
So long
was
that
it,
I've seen that.
Gary Oldman, I think, was Dracula. Oh my gosh. How
Was
creepy
he that was him, huh?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Uh-huh. Pretty
like
crazy,
Gary
dude.
Oldman. He's
Yeah,
good.
it's that I think it was underrated, man.
That's a good one. I need to watch that one again.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of what's the one with Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt?
Oh, Interview with the Vampire.
I haven't seen that in forever.
It's been,
I remember
yeah,
it,
like
it
20
was pretty
years.
cool when it came out. You're just
Yeah.
like, two hot actors, vampire.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Two hot actors. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So there you go. It's all kind of surrounded by a lot of. They don't even think that he visited there, Bram Stoker.
Oh, really?
They're like, he just kind of got the idea from a picture. The
Interesting.
way it looks and the way
Yeah.
he describes Dracula's castle. But there's a lot of crap that happened there anyway.
For sure, yeah.
Vlad's just friggin' impaling everybody.
Mhm.
Maybe. Anyway, so Black Forest of Southwest Germany.
Oh, this is
Have
where
you heard of what goes on there?
Gummy bears,
Oh, yes.
right?
Aren't they Black
I
Forest?
think Black Forest gummy bears,
Yeah.
right? No, but I haven't heard, no.
It's a great map on Age of Empires as well. Black
Oh,
Forest.
Black Forest, yeah,
So,
sure.
anyways, so this thick, almost impenetrable, lush conifer tree forest made up of conifer trees. It's super thick and dark, and it was actually named by the Romans because they were just like, can't see anything in there.
It's black.
It's scary. It's black and dark.
That's what we're
Don't
calling
go in there. We conquer it. Long has been the local folklore and legends about what have happened in the Black Forest. Demonic dances to devil worshipping and sites where witches would have been free to come to act out their blasphemy.
Oh my gosh.
There's one tale, though. This is kind of a little newer. I mean, last 10 years I've known about this one.
Oh, okay.
That there's a story that goes with Der Grossman, which is Slender Man.
Oh, yeah, Slender Man. Oh, it's Black Forest.
The Black Forest, yeah.
Okay.
And this is a little thing that parents tell kids that this disfigured, long-armed man, if you've seen pictures of Slender Man, he's pretty creepy.
He's creepy.
Pretty creepy.
Yeah.
That his bulging pupils, tortured face will be embedded in your mind whenever you close your own eyes. Parents of the nearby villages have long taunted their children that if they misbehave, they'll be sent to the Slender Man. Those who actually were mysteriously or that have been sent there just have never returned. So there's like, you're gonna get sent to the forest. So
didn't they make a movie?
Yeah,
a horror
there's
movie
been games and everything like
yeah.
that. It is pretty creepy little story. And that Black Forest, like looking at pictures of it, it does look like super thick and dark and scary.
They make ham there too, right?
Oh, I love Black Forest ham.
Yeah,
yeah.
Eat that.
Poveglia Island, Italy. This probably would be the most scary to me.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Known as the most haunted island, so water
around it.
all the way around.
All the way around.
Poveglia sits just off the coast of northern Italy near Venice. The history of this island has all kinds of terrible things. For one, basically anybody that had the plague, so it existed through two of those the Black Plague and then what was the other one?
Coronavirus.
That's it. Still sending people there.
Still sending people.
Anyways,
couple of plagues.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, it was a quarantine for people to go there and die.
Sure.
And then later in the 1800s, it became a mentally ill asylum.
Oh my gosh.
The asylum was poorly constructed and was used as a place for exile rather than rehabilitation, which is basically what all mental illness hospitals
They weren't
were.
treating
They were
them.
just to get people away from everybody.
Yeah.
And there are rumors that in 1930s, the doctor that performed strange experiments on these patients, eventually he went mad and jumped from the tower that still exists there today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, it was through the bell tower that was removed decades ago. I see that's I got some mixed
signals
information there because like the pictures I've seen, there's still a bell tower there.
Oh.
What's even more creepy to me is that by mid 20th century they converted it into a geriatric center.
Oh my gosh. Like, let's just make this the creepiest place on the planet.
Which closed in 1975. They figure like over 160,000 or more had died in this location. Today, it's still there. The entire island is abandoned, and locals and tourists are prohibited from visiting it.
Why?
Fishermen even steer clear of it because they're so creeped out by it, and they've seen apparitions and people walking around on it. They've also heard the bell still that doesn't exist anymore.
You don't want to hear that.
No, that would creep me out.
Yeah, no thank you.
Thrill-seeking travelers have heard screams. Human bones have washed up on shore.
A femur bone?
Yeah. And the island's soil is said to be made or composed of 50% human ash.
What?
Yeah.
I'll bet that is lush soil.
Terrible,
right?
Terrible place. Yeah, it does look pretty creepy.
Grow some corn.
And I didn't even know it existed.
I didn't either.
It's still sitting there today. You can see ghosts and stuff.
Cool.
You can find yourself a bone.
Yeah.
You can find yourself a bone.
Cool.
The last one in Europe, obviously, is the Tower of London.
Oh,
Because
is that
there's
obvious?
been a
I didn't
lot.
know.
That's a big one. A
Is
lot of
it?
people say it's super haunted.
I didn't know that.
The tower has over 1,000 years of history with
That's a long
ghastly
time.
happenings, including gruesome executions, murders, and torture. Visitors have noted experiencing repulsive smells. It's just England, right?
Yeah. What is that? That's tea.
Ice cold. Speaking of stinky smells, when we were in Salt Lake, that's all. The whole place stunk. Remember?
Did it?
Like it just smelled like sewers.
Oh yeah, there
I
was
was like,
there was
man.
some bad.
So
We were downtown though.
we were downtown.
So
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, people have experienced these repulsive smells. Rooms get ice cold, and ghosts surrounding the tower kind of show up. But there's a lot of like historical figures that show up quite often.
Oh, okay.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The most notorious is Anne Boleyn. You know, she was beheaded by Henry VIII. She's been spotted a number of times wandering the grounds holding her severed head.
What's she going to do with
That's
it?
pretty cool.
Gonna have to hold it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
At least she has a cool way of scaring people.
Yeah.
Other ghosts at the tower. Henry VI appeared at the last stroke of midnight. He'll just show up. So you got to be there. Lady Jane Grey, killed by Mary Tudor or Bloody Mary. And also the person that was killed along with her was Lord Guildford Dudley. So those two were murdered there. And she can be seen as a lonely figure wandering around. He, unfortunately, can be seen sitting in the cell and weeping late into the night. A little sad, man.
Poor guy.
He's been known, it's been told that he carves Jane's name into the wall, too.
Oh.
Misses her.
Mrs. O'Jane.
So that sucked, though.
Yeah.
You're scaring people by just, like, crying in a cell.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Margaret Pole was a victim of one of the most gruesome and botched executions in history. I didn't know about this one. Basically, she was sent to be beheaded, but she refused, saying, "So should traitors do. I am none." Like a man.
Okay, yeah.
When the executioner raised his axe, she ran, and he chased her all around, just hacking at her until she was killed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
her
horrible.
ghostly screams can still be heard on the Tower Green, and a few visitors claim to have seen the ghost reenacting the chase. She just runs around.
It's better to just let your head get cut off.
So pretty horrible.
Yeah.
White Lady. They don't really know who she is, but her presence is typically announced by an overwhelming smell of cheap perfume. So strong it has made several tower visitors sick.
Sounds like a white
So
lady.
if you start smelling perfume when you go to the Tower of London, there's a good chance a white lady's going to show up.
Yeah.
A few visitors reported being tapped on the shoulder. Turn around, no one's there.
Oh, gosh.
That's the worst.
A wisp of white. Yeah.
Yeah. Edward V and Richard, Duke of York, imprisoned by their uncle. Two little boys purportedly murdered on his order. The figure of the two lost boys wearing nightshirts, holding hands, are frequently seen in the White Tower. That
sounds
creep me out.
creepy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can also hear children giggling. I don't like that.
I don't want to hear a child giggle.
I don't either.
That's
I'd
a
rather
bad
see
sound.
a ghost carrying her head.
Yeah.
Sir Walter Raleigh was imprisoned in the Tower once, secret marriage and for treason. Following his execution, his ghost began wandering around the bloody tower as well as along battlements known for, and they're known as Raleigh's Walk. Anyway, and a few more. Her identity, Gray Lady, is another one that just kind of wanders. How do you determine if it's gray or white if they're a ghost?
The different colors.
One of them taps you on the shoulder, the other one doesn't.
Yeah.
But she is sexist. The Gray Lady
She
will
is?
only reveal herself to female visitors.
Oh my gosh. She's
She
a
does
feminist
not.
ghost.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So she's become more popular lately.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right. Arbella Stewart, imprisoned and died in the tower in 1615. Conflicting reports claim that she either stopped eating or was murdered. She haunts
One of the
the
two.
Queen's house.
She either stopped eating or she was
We
murdered.
don't know. She's dead.
Can't remember.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
Yep. Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes.
Guy Fawkes. It is said that you can hear his screams and cries from the council chamber in the White Tower where he was prepared for execution. So
Sure.
a lot of stuff going on
My
at
gosh.
the London Tower. And the number of spectral animals have been heard over the years, including monkeys, lions, horses,
Monkeys?
but only one has actually been seen. A guard at the tower claimed a ghostly bear charged him, though the guard attempted to bayonet the animal, which kept coming at him. Soon the sword went through the animal, and the guard was carried senseless to his quarters where he died 2 days later.
What?
Super weird, yeah. So there's like ghosts of bears and white and gray women and a bunch of beheaded people.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. So anyways, the Tower of London, if you're into ghosts and scary stuff, that apparently seems the hot spot. There's a
Man.
good chance one of these 12 people might show up.
I love it. It's like, we don't know. She might have just stopped eating, you know?
Yeah.
We don't know. She's that or murdered.
Yeah.
But, you know, eating is, like, super important. And
It is.
especially in a
Best segue ever.
in a time when resources might be scarce. And so that's why we think you should get some Nutrient Survival. It is made with real ingredients. It's made in America to keep Americans healthy, strong, and alert. Perfect for today, ready for anything ahead. From hearty, delicious entrees to nutrient-dense snacks to immunity-boosting drinks and strength-building shakes. Each with 40 essential nutrients available in handy singles, daily use pantry packs, durable cans, and 3 to 90-day survival kits. Keeping your world safe and your body in peak condition. Cam, this
Don't
isn't
turn into a ghost.
no, this isn't cheap, empty calorie, bland food storage. It actually has nutritional value and it tastes delicious. Okay, head over to nutrientsurvival.com, use our code CASUALPREPPERS, and you're going to get 10% off your order. It's good stuff. I promise you guys.
It's way healthier than any other thing you're
Anything
storing.
I'm
eat.
certain. I'm certain of that too. So let's move on to North America, starting with our friends to the north in Canada.
Very north.
Yeah. This one I've actually seen with my own 2 eyes.
Really?
The Banff
I know you'd been up there.
Springs Hotel. This is a beautiful place.
I would love to see it.
It is super cool. And since its grand debut over a century ago, guests and staff alike allege that many unique spirits haunt the Fairmont Banff Springs. One such ghost is old Sam Macaulay. He's an elderly Scotsman. He served as the hotel's lead bellhop through the mid-20th century. Bellhops.
Scotsman.
Yeah, he's a Scotsman. Let me show
How do
you
you want
to
me to
your
put
room.
these bigs?
Those who come across Sam indicate that he is incredibly helpful and kind.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's a
some
good ghost.
even stating that his spirit had actually assisted them. It's like you walk in, can't get anybody to find you, friggin' ghost comes over and helps you to your room, right? Nothing better. One famous tale involved 2 women who called upon the front desk for service after their guest room key wouldn't work. Friggin' key wouldn't work. The bellhop did not respond for 15 minutes. They walked back to their guest room defeated. They're like, I don't know what we're going to do. But then another hotel employee matching Sam's description approached their door and unlocked it for him.
He's got to look pretty old and like.
Well, I don't think he ages in death.
Wearing a kilt and everything?
No, I don't think so. The bellhop staff, the front desk that night, were stunned to learn that such a figure had manifested to help the 2 women.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's still
That'd be
just
a
getting the
story to
job
tell.
done. Just getting the job done, still doing his thing, right? But the most famous of the specters here is the bride. Her story harkens all the way back to the 1920s.
Yeah. I think I did. Yeah,
this one's kind of
Sad.
famous. According to the legends, a young couple once decided to get married at the Fairmont Banff Springs, and it looks like a great place to get married. It's an amazing looking building. It's insane. It looks like it should be haunted already for sure. The bride looked beautiful as she descended down the hotel's staircase that day, adorned with a gorgeous white wedding dress, as they usually do. Unfortunately, something unusual startled her greatly, and she stumbled down toward the floor below. Some stories state that her heel caught the banister, while others insist that a candle nearby glanced off her clothing. I don't know what that
What does
means.
that mean?
I don't know if like it was like gonna like start it on fire and she was like, and then she
Whoa.
fell. I don't know. That was a candle. Nevertheless, she perished during the fall. She died. Since then, countless people have reported encountering a veiled figure gliding across the stairwell,
Oh, wow.
her shadow billowing as if it were an ornate gown.
That sounds kind of cool.
It does sound kind of cool, huh? Anyways,
Beautiful place. I won't even be bothered by it.
yeah, that's the Banff Springs Hotel. Pretty cool.
That one's cool.
Yeah, the Bowman Arts Center. Used to be the Bowman School. This is a quick one. But it's haunted now because as the tale goes, a young Chinese girl.
Where's it at?
This is the Bowman Arts Center. It's in Ontario, I believe.
Okay. Still up in Canada.
Yeah, this is all in Canada. As the tale goes, a young Chinese girl was mistaken for a boy while wearing traditional clothing in the women's washroom. She was beaten as punishment, and I think she
Not
died.
Today's
No.
standards.
So now still the sounds of a young girl crying are often heard in the women's washroom. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's kind of
Right.
creepy.
This place, the Charles Camsell Hospital. Do you see the picture there, Cam? It looks like it was built to be haunted.
That's
Like it's ready
Some
to
of
be
these
haunted.
haunted places are incredible looking.
Yeah. It's best known for flickering lights, screams at night, and security guards posted to keep would-be ghost hunters are coming all the time to check this place out. It opened in 1945 at a Jesuit college, becoming a federally operated tuberculosis sanatorium for Inuit and First Nations patients. Anyways, Roy Orbison actually checked in with bronchitis for more than a month in 1984, which is kind of an interesting thing. But anyways, it's been vacant for the past 15 years, and the building's mystique has been bolstered by rumors of rampant abuse and legends of a mass grave. Since the closure of the hospital, visitors have claimed to experience feelings of discomfort and overall eerie and unsettling feelings within the vicinity of the hospital. Legend has it the screams of past patients can be heard from the 4th floor, and that's the psych ward, as well as footsteps throughout the hospital. This is the scariest part. Some have claimed to have seen a ghost of a teenage girl who appears to have ripped out her fingernails. I don't know if she's just like walking like this.
I wouldn't even have paid attention. I was like, there's a ghost.
There's a ghost.
And he's like,
did you see her fingernails? I'd be like, oh no, I didn't notice. He's like, my wife's like, do you like my fingernails? You didn't even notice. I'm like, no, I didn't notice.
Sorry.
I didn't.
Sorry about that.
I don't notice those types of things.
That hospital looks like if you play DayZ,
that does look like a
DayZ hospital.
It definitely does.
That's cool.
And we're going to go to the Dean House in Calgary, Canada. Built in 1906 for
Looks pretty boring.
Yeah, no, it kind of does. For Fort Calgary's superintendent. During the Dean House's years as a boarding house, many tragic events occurred. And when that happens, they usually get haunted. In 1933, a 14-year-old boy committed suicide in the attic
that'll creep you out.
after being bullied at school for his epilepsy.
Jeez.
Boy's got epilepsy, let's beat him up. Like, that's so mean.
That is
God,
mean.
kids are so mean. In 1952, a tenant named Roderick Umperville stabbed and strangled his wife, Irma.
Okay.
While his children looked on, then killed himself in one of the home's apartments.
Yeah.
So as you can see, bad things are going on here. After Alex Brotherton died in the house in 1968, the Dean House's violent and tragic past cemented its reputation as one of Calgary's most haunted houses.
So a boy, a murder, suicide, and then this other guy just,
And another dude just died. He
in
just
there?
died in there. Probably stopped eating like everybody else, apparently.
That's been the way to
Yeah.
go.
One famous story tells of an old telephone that occasionally rings despite not being connected and without any wiring
That's
inside.
pretty creepy.
I mean, for me, I'm like, it rings once, I'm taking it out of the house. I'm not just going to leave it there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's one of the creepiest, like, just things, like, we talked about children screaming is like one of the creepiest things. Now, that would be pretty creepy.
A phone ringing. Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, anything that has to do with like a mannequin or like a ventriloquist doll.
Oh, I got one for you.
Oh, you
soon.
do?
Yeah, I got one
man,
for you.
that stuff creeps me out
I
so
know.
bad. I don't know why.
My kids used to hate the Goosebumps show.
Yeah.
The Dummy or whatever.
Yeah.
Night of the Dummy or whatever it was.
Yeah. What
used
is
to
his,
creep 'em
What
out.
is his name? Spanky?
Is it something like that?
Like that.
Yeah, it's something
Slappy.
Like, Slappy. That's what it
Slappy.
is. Slappy. Yeah.
Spanky.
Spanky.
Close enough.
You're gonna slapping when you spank. It's all the same.
Spanky's brother.
Spanky. It's the goofy brother ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
Other visitors claim to hear voices and footsteps, smell cigar smoke, and hear an antique piano play by itself. Now
That actually sounds nice.
sounds like a nice evening, right? Yeah, this
I ain't even scared.
Atmosphere's great.
Sounds
in here.
like a man's house.
Yeah. Staff members have also reported dark apparitions, missing legs below the knees, floating down the stairs
Ooh,
and
yeah, that's
disappearing. Yeah. This one I wouldn't want to see. This one,
This is all in that same house?
same house.
Wow.
In the attic, storage bins appear to have blood stains on them that can't be scrubbed away.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
Can't get rid of them. Yeah, this is like just a
I'm cleaned it
plethora.
over and over. It just keeps coming back.
This is just like they threw every weird ghost
yeah.
thing at it. Another one.
Let's pull a bunch of stores from around town.
Put them all in one house.
Yep.
The ghost of a native man, his hair in a single braid and wearing a long-sleeved shirt and vest has been seen haunting the home.
I think dude just lives there.
Yeah. He's like, you guys are in my
Look at that
house.
creepy ghost. He's like, I own the place.
I've owned this place for 10 years. Get out. Smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Playing piano.
Yeah, so that's kind of a crazy place. That is the the Dean House.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It sounds like you would at least see something if
I
you
know.
went and saw that.
So
the
this
house
one-
itself looks kind of boring.
It is pretty boring looking. Now we're going to go to the Ferkins home. This is one Cam wants to hang out in, for sure. It's haunted
Oh, man.
by not one,
It is
but
like one of those.
3 ghosts in this house. The first is a floating woman in a white dress.
Boring. Seen it before.
Classic. It just, this is just a trope that everybody kind of has. And then the second one is a sickly little boy. I don't want to see no sickly little boy as a ghost. Yeah.
Comes up, just rubbing his nose.
You want to go play? I don't know what he's going to say. He's going to say something like that.
Want to go play, eh? Isn't he from?
He's a Canadian.
No.
Yeah. I play hockey. He kind of had a British accent
Yeah,
there a
well.
bit. Yeah.
Oui, oui.
Yeah.
A little French.
Yeah,
in there,
French.
too.
There you go. The third and possibly most terrifying is a ventriloquist dummy that can mysteriously materialize inside cupboards,
No, thank you. Yeah.
and even move around on its own.
Yeah, no. That stuff, I don't know what it is, man.
It is
They're
creepy.
just super creepy.
That's a Seinfeld episode too. You have to see
What
that
is?
one. There's what's his name? his neighbor has a ventriloquist dummy or like
Oh,
a
he
little
does?
doll. And they have to switch apartments for some reason. So he goes and so Jerry sleeps.
And it's there again or something?
And he can hear it like walking around. Like you hear this, like these footsteps and stuff. And so
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyways, so now we're going to move on to the Walterdale Playhouse. This is in Edmonton's theater district. It's over 100 years old.
Sounds awesome.
And some swear that it's haunted by a ghost named Walt. Of course.
Yeah.
Who is
Makes
Walt?
sense.
The Playhouse actually used to be a firehouse, right? And Walt is said to be a firefighter who died there in 1910. But how do you know when Walt's there, Cam? It's very easy to tell because you hear the sounds of bells, horses, you get that whiff of manure. That's when you know Walt's around. You guys smell that?
It smells like cow shit.
That's just Walt. Walt's hanging out. So that's kind of a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
The manure smell. You ever been to a old spaghetti factory? You know that we have the spaghetti factory here in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
You can go to. This one's the old spaghetti.
I've been to the old spaghetti factory.
This is in Canada somewhere.
Well, isn't there an actual hotel or restaurant chain that's called the Old Spaghetti
I think
Factory?
so. I don't know.
I've eaten at one.
Yeah. Anyways,
Not this one.
this one is in Canada somewhere.
Here's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Did you know one strand of spaghetti is called spaghetto?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
You want a piece of spaghetto?
What about spaghettios? Spaghettios.
Spaghettos.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
I thought it was interesting.
Thanks for
I
that.
saw that. It's like,
Yeah.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So the old spaghetti factory, there was a sighting. The first sighting involves a tram conductor from the number 53 old trolley car that patrons think of as just part of the decor, right? They got a trolley car in there. It adds to the atmosphere. But some say that the conductor died in an underground collision beneath the restaurant, while others believe his ghost appeared.
Underneath?
Yeah.
Like collide with another person?
No, there's like a tram underneath
the tram.
a tunnel, right?
Well, that sounds even cooler.
I know. While others believe his ghost appeared when the tram was installed, like it came with it. It was like a feature of the tram. You get this and you get the ghost.
How you bring a tram in? Well, what kind of ghost you bring?
Yeah,
with
you're
it?
going to bring a ghost with it. Guarantee it. Either way, many say that the old spaghetti factory staffers have spotted the ghost in full uniform inside the tram after the restaurant empties out in the evening. The second ghost is a little red man, they call him, with flaming auburn hair and a penchant for mischief. He's just like red
A
hair.
little pissed off man.
He's just always getting into trouble, causing problems, and eating spaghetto probably.
Spaghetto.
Yeah.
One piece of spaghetti.
Yeah. Rumor has it that he roams around the kitchen, whispering to staffers and calling them out by name. Like, Cam. And you're trying to wash some dishes or something, right? Spaghetto. Give me a piece. I want that meatball. Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that. The third ghost was spotted by a waitress who saw a young boy running around the restaurant during her closing shift. She was so scared by the incident that she resigned on the spot.
Done.
Sounds kind of
out.
like a thing like, I just don't want to work here anymore.
Yeah, that
I'll tell
sounds
him I
pretty
saw a
much like
ghost.
that.
Tell him I saw a ghost.
Look, you got
I'm out.
ghosts here. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, look, it's a great place to work.
Yeah.
I love the 401k.
You guys have done a lot for me.
Love the health insurance.
But I saw a ghost. I'm
You got-
done. I'm out.
You got damn ghosts, and that's one thing I can't deal with during my shift.
Yeah.
So anyways.
That does sound like an excuse.
Yeah.
Mid-shift, a lot of people come in.
Yeah.
I saw a ghost. I'm out.
I'm out. The same spirit has also been seen bending cutlery. Or they're bending all up.
That's
right?
creepy.
But when the staff members brought it up to the attention of the manager, the previously bent cutlery had mysteriously been returned to normal. Okay, yeah, it was all bent. Okay, get back to work. Ghost or no ghost, you got to wash the dishes. Okay?
Sign right here. You saw it in the contract.
Yeah.
If I see a ghost, I ain't quitting.
Yeah, that's right. The fourth ghost, man, there's a lot of ghosts, was of a young girl sitting at the table near the front of the restaurant holding a balloon. Now that's creepy.
That is creepy.
Yeah. A friend of the general manager claimed to have engaged in a long conversation with the ghost, but when someone else approached the table, she disappeared. Yikes.
That is kind of
A visiting psychic confirmed the presence of ghosts, claiming the paranormal activity originates both from a vortex found at the back of the restaurant and lingering spirits attached to the historical
No better way to get your food out
artifacts.
quicker.
We got a vortex in the kitchen.
The waiter just pops up in the vortex. Have 2 orders of grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Just go back in the vortex.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so much more efficient.
Yeah, the
for a
host
restaurant.
comes up. You don't even have to walk to your table. You get in the vortex, come back out.
What We'll take you to table 3. Just walk
Yeah.
into the vortex.
I really walk right into the vortex. Yeah, safe. Everybody does it. It's fine.
It's part of the restaurant.
Part of the
That's why we bought it.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, that's kind of a crazy deal, don't you think?
That is a crazy deal.
Yeah. What else is crazy is freaking Tac Pack. Those dudes, I don't know what they're doing, but they got a vortex of some sort
They
that
do have a
brings them
vortex.
gear and sends it out to you. It's the only
It's your
monthly
only connection to a vortex.
yeah, the only monthly tactical subscription box with useful professional grade stuff inside. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS. Get a free $70 machine-made part from Next Level Armament.
Dang.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't know how they do it either.
Nobody knows how they do it, but they do it.
Got some
Null-
lady in white.
I know. Most likely.
Making all the gear for them.
Now let's move on to the good old US of A.
Yes. Yes.
How about the White House?
No, I have heard that. I've heard Abraham
Yeah.
Lincoln
Yeah.
haunts that place. Is that what it is?
Uh-huh. Like big time.
Yeah.
Like
I've
homeboy
heard
doesn't
a lot
want to
of
go.
people have said that.
Yeah. On one particular visit, the
I
Prime
talk to the
Minister.
president all the time. He
Yeah.
says, I don't like it. I'm sure Biden sees him all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Mr. Abraham Lincoln.
The veil is thin with Biden at this point, as you know.
He's in and out.
Yeah, he's in and out of this world and the next. Winston Churchill, you all know about him.
Oh, yeah.
He stayed in the Lincoln bedroom one time. He just finished taking a bath. Got out of the bath, got his towel on. Probably got, you know what I mean? He just picture
He's
Winston
close
Churchill.
friends with FDR.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He walked back into the suite.
What do you say we fly over here?
Yeah, what do you say? Come on,
Stay in
Winston.
Abe's room.
All right, let's do it. So he comes over, gets out of the tub. There is Abraham Lincoln standing by the
With his
fireplace.
dong.
7 years ago, I saw a dong that was long.
Fourscore long.
Yeah, I tip my hat to you, sir. Yeah, he's gone. I know what you did in the bathtub, Winston.
Is this the thing to do in the White House of the president?
Yeah. Anyways, so he refused to sleep in that room after that. He's like,
Oh, man.
anyways, yeah, he didn't want to sleep there anymore. Other people have said they've seen the ghost of Abraham Lincoln. Teddy Roosevelt saw him.
Yeah.
Herbert Hoover.
It's been like multiple.
Herbert Hoover, Dwight Eisenhower, First Lady Jackie Kennedy, and Lady Bird Johnson both saw him. The children, Susan Ford and Maureen Reagan, saw him.
Wow.
Yeah,
That dude's there.
Maureen and her husband witnessed Lincoln standing by the same fireplace where Churchill saw him. Wow. So that's where he likes to chill out, right?
He's cold.
Yeah, he's cold. He's trying to keep warm. Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands.
In the bathroom. He likes to hang out in the bathroom.
Yeah. She was staying in the Rose Room when she heard a knock at the door in the middle of the night. She's like, oh, get up and see who this is, right? When she answered, she was confronted by the ghost of Abraham Lincoln standing in the hallway.
Wow.
He's just always hanging out. President Andrew Jackson is believed to haunt the Rose Room. Numerous White House employees reportedly hearing his hearty laughter of him in a fit of rage.
What does that mean?
Swearing violently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's
Hearty
pissed off.
laughter and rage.
Yeah, at the same time.
Up
It's
and down,
creepy.
up and down.
Yeah. He probably has some sort of mental problem.
Fuck.
Yeah, one of those things.
That would be pretty creepy,
The
though.
ghost of Abigail Adams has been seen floating through the East Room. That's quite
That one's
interesting.
kind of creepy.
The room where she used to hang her laundry. Several eyewitnesses, including staff and visitors, have seen her seemingly floating across the room with her arms outstretched as
That's
if she's
creepy.
carrying a laundry basket.
Oh, well, that
That's less
sucks.
creepy. It's just,
She ain't trying to reach for me. She's trying to get laundry done.
yeah, she's just trying to get the britches clean. All right. So, anyways, that's the White House.
Remind me if I ever get invited to the White House to not.
Yeah.
I'd love to see.
Bring
that.
your lucky penny. You know what I mean? Just in case. Have you heard of the Stanley Hotel?
Oh, sure have.
Yes, I think you have.
I actually have always wanted to go see it.
Me too, man.
It's expensive to stay at.
Is
Have you
it?
seen the
I
price?
haven't.
It's like 300 and something a night.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to
Those
stay where.
costs.
Yeah. In the 70s, a little author, many of you might not know who this is. Stephen King is his name. He was working on a novel called The Stand, and he was living in Boulder, Colorado at the time. One weekend, he and his wife Tabitha, they traveled an hour north to Estes Park for a weekend away
They went
from
there,
their children.
Huh? That's where.
He explained that the Stanley Hotel was open on its last day of the season. when he and Tabitha arrived looking for accommodations. They would be the only guests in the entire hotel that night. And King recalled...
Well, that's an experience.
And the thing is huge.
I'd be creeped out by that,
I would too. He recalled...
There's no one else here?
This is just us. He recalled hearing the wind whistling outside the room. After a night at the restaurant and bar, the couple retired to room 217.
Interesting.
In a lucid nightmare, this is the weirdest nightmare I've ever heard, the author dreamed of a coiled fire hose coming to life and chasing his screaming son as he ran down the halls of the hotel.
He's got to have the worst dreams.
That dude, he's got
planet.
issues. After waking in a panic, he lit a cigarette and stared out the window, obviously. By the time he had finished the cigarette and gone back to bed, the rough outline of The Shining was fully formed in his mind. Yeah, so like this stay was actually what made him think
I didn't know he experienced like the hotel by like just him.
It's the whole thing,
That's
man.
pretty creepy.
I know, it's really cool, actually. So the connection, Stanley's connection to King and the terrifying night that inspired The Shining are the hotel's most famous and influential creepy occurrence, but strange and reportedly paranormal happenings have been reported in the hotel long before
happening. I was going to say.
Yeah,
the
lots
stuff
of
that
it.
probably had already been happening.
June 25th, 1911. After the valley experienced a flood, the 2-year-old hotel's power went out for the first time. So the guy that owned it took it upon himself to install a gas lantern into each room to provide the guests with light. Didn't work out well. A leak caused a buildup of gas to form in room 217, the same room
So weird.
that he was in. The head chambermaid, Elizabeth Wilson, entered the room with a lit candle and set off a massive explosion. She miraculously survived, but was launched from the room's entrance to the dining hall located on the first floor. Like, she took a trip, man.
So did she pass through the floor?
I guess so. I don't know how it happened. I don't know. An estimated 10% of the hotel wasn't as lucky, and one observer reported seeing a bathtub fly up in the air during the blast.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
After waking up from a coma, she returned to work in 1913 and remained an employee of the hotel until 1950. Like a really long time.
It's fine.
It's fine. Just
Look,
another,
we'll pay you a bunch.
Just another
No
day at
workers'
the
comp.
office. Yeah. Her spirit is said to still inhabit room 217.
Well, she ain't giving up on it.
No, but reports claim
Super weird that it happened in that very
I
room.
know. Reports claim that she's typically more helpful than scary. This
Oh,
ghost.
nice.
This is great.
Man,
Guests-
hotel ghosts is the best.
I know. Guests have shared stories of waking up to a room that was tidier than the night before with their clothes folded and suitcases organized.
Ain't bad.
She has a little bit of like OCD. Like she can't have your stuff all over the place. So while you sleep, she fixes stuff up. This is even worse. This would scare the freaking bejesus out of me. One couple told a staff member at the Stanley that their bed was made around them during the night with them still inside of it.
That is pretty creepy.
Yeah, it's like, no thank you.
Did we get in this?
What happened? How did this happen? Anyways.
I thought you could say they woke up with their clothes on. Like,
No.
You got dressed?
Who
She dressed us.
Who dressed me? If you're considering staying at this famous hotel and you aren't married, you may not have the most restful night if you choose to stay in room 217. Unmarried
I
couples...
wonder how often that gets booked.
I don't know. Unmarried couples have reportedly a chilly presence settling into the bed with them as they've slept. Some hotel tour guides believe a ghost of a child with autism wanders the property and plays with guests' hair. So there's an autistic child ghost
Wow.
running around playing with hair
Okay.
of the guests. You know,
Comforting.
yeah,
Rolling in his fingers.
that is pretty creepy.
That is pretty creepy.
Room 401 is, according to some, the creepiest room in the hotel.
401, huh?
401, and is thought to be haunted by an
Man, how many
unfriendly
rooms are in that thing?
a lot, an unfriendly male ghost by some accounts. Women have claimed that they were inappropriately touched by an unknown presence while standing in the room's closet. Yeah. Hello. Boo.
Boob.
Boob.
That's crazy.
I know, no. It's crazy. And then one man claims he witnessed his wedding ring inexplicably move from the bathroom counter and fall down the drain of a sink in the bathroom.
Well, that sounds pretty...
I don't know, babe.
Yeah.
A ghost did it.
He touched me, too.
And I don't know who
I
touched
don't
those
like
ladies.
It. He touched me.
Anyways, that is...
Go in that closet, I'll film it.
that is the Stanley Hotel.
That's crazy. I didn't know all of that.
Lots of crazy stuff.
I know
going
there's
on
been
there.
a lot of like ghost hunters go there and stuff like that. but
Yeah, for sure.
I had no idea about the
I know.
explosion. Just boom, and you're sitting in the dining hall. What happened?
In a coma.
I guess.
How about the Eastern State Penitentiary? With its looming, gloomy, high stone walls, crumbling corridors, and stark cells that once housed thousands of hardcore criminals, Eastern State Penitentiary certainly looks haunted. Its 142-year history is full of suicide, madness, disease, murder, and torture, making it easy to imagine the spirits of troubled souls. Like, it's haunted. They did some crazy things at this place. They used the iron gag. Have you ever heard of this thing?
I have not heard of the
This is
iron gag.
not
Well,
gonna-
I'll pretend I don't know. What
I
you're
don't know.
talking
Well, tell me about it. I mean, tell everybody else about it. Let's say you were a few months into your sentence in 1834 and you can't bear keeping your mouth shut a moment longer. That's how inmate Matthias McCumsey may have felt in 1833.
about. Unfortunate name.
Yeah, it is what it is. While he was serving time for manslaughter, McCumsey tried to talk to his neighbor. Apparently, that's not good. You don't talk to your neighbor. When he got caught by guards, they slapped the iron gag on him. To do this, they bound and shackled his hands behind his back. They put an iron casted gag over his tongue. Then the gag was attached to chains to the shackles on his wrists.
Holy crap.
And then they left him.
Like all the way around to the back?
Yeah, they left him. About an hour later, he was found dead in his cell. Apparently, the iron collar ripped up his tongue and he bled to death from his tongue.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Is that the only time the iron gag's been used?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But anyways, that's the iron gag.
Wow.
They also had the mad chair.
Okay.
Yeah. Early Philadelphia doctors believed mental illness spread through the body through circulation.
Oh, okay.
Like it was in your blood. Okay. They thought they could cure insanity by
Believe
simply
that.
making sure blood couldn't pump through the body.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can cure this.
Kill him.
What's the best way to do this was by restricting all movement. The mad chair was created so inmates could be strapped in so tightly it was literally impossible to move a muscle. They would be forced to sit in this chair for days without food. Restricting the blood flow inevitably caused damage to the body, and inmates often needed limbs amputated after spending
Holy
time in the
crap.
mad chair.
The mad chair.
So this is kind of just to show why this place is haunted, some of the things. The last one I'll tell you about is the water bath, which sounds normal. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's not. If you broke
that sounds nice.
if you broke the rules during the winter season, you could be subjected to another horrific punishment. A guard would dunk your head in ice cold water, then hang you on a wall at night outside.
Holy crap.
The frigid air would cause your skin to ice over before morning, and many didn't make it through.
That's a nice place.
Anyways, there's lots of ghosts and stuff there. It's crazy.
What about them? Do
I'll take a water bath.
you want the water bath? Do you want the
Iron
gag?
gag.
Or do you want the mad chair?
Mad chair.
Well, I'll do the water bath. That
I've
sounds
been
real
stinky. I'll take that. You're dead.
nice. Yeah. Well, that's...
This one here is probably the craziest. The Winchester Mystery House. A lot of people know about this. They did a film on this not too long ago, a horror film. I didn't see it, but anyways. The Winchester Mystery House is a mansion in San Jose, California that was once the personal residence of Sarah Winchester, the widow of firearms magnate William Wirt Winchester. William Wirt Winchester.
I always wanted to visit that place.
Me too. The house became
were
a
close.
a
We were
tourist
close.
attraction 9 months after her death. They're just like, we're going to make this thing a place to come
Just like
see
that.
right after she dies. The Victorian and Gothic style mansion is renowned for its size and architectural curiosities. It is sometimes claimed to be the most haunted places in the world. She was known to rebuild and abandon construction in the process if the progress did not meet her expectations, which resulted in a maze-like design. In the San Jose News of 1897, it was reported that a 7-story tower was torn down and rebuilt 16 times.
Wow.
As a result of her expansions, there are walled-off exterior windows and doors that were not removed as the house grew in size. Multiple levels, up to 5, were added to different parts of the home. At its largest, this is an insane thing, the house had approximately 500
Holy crap.
rooms. 500 rooms. When the 1906 San Francisco earthquake hit, the La Yonda Villa was severely damaged. There were rumors that Winchester was trapped in the home, but there was no evidence that she was there. The 7-story tower and most of the chimneys collapsed. One entire wing was destroyed along with the third and fourth story additions. Winchester had the rubble removed, but had little more done to the property after the earthquake. It left doors that opened to nothing where balconies had once been.
Crap.
Pipes that were protruding from what were once window boxes.
Just clean up the rubble. It's all good.
It's all good. And staircases that once led to upper floors that just end suddenly. When she died in 1922.
How did no one die?
I'm sure people did.
You talked about a guy cutting through to work, fell down an elevator shaft.
I know.
But yet they lived in this house.
It's crazy. When she died in 1922, the house had 160 rooms. These numbers don't even make sense. 2,000 doors. So
how many doors per room?
2,000 doors in 160 rooms. Get this number. 10,000 windows.
Whoa.
47 stairways, 47 fireplaces, 13 bathrooms, and 6 kitchens. Man. This is insane. So why she built this. One story goes that Winchester visited a medium in Boston named Adam Coons, who told her that she and her family were being haunted by the ghosts of people killed by Winchester rifles.
I think I do remember this, reading it when we were in San Francisco. We wanted to go really bad, never did.
And that she must construct a house for these ghosts.
So she built all these rooms for ghosts.
And that she must never complete the project. That was part of it as well.
Easy.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I could do that so easy.
Been doing that for ever.
The newspapers declared that
I'm going to tell my wife that. I want to finish the room.
We got ghosts.
You got to go to live in it. You finish it, and they're going to need somewhere to go.
And the newspaper said that she thought that she might have bad luck if she would stop construction. The theory eventually grew into stories that she believed she would die if construction stopped.
That sounds like a woman. Like,
I will die if I don't keep doing these projects. I will die.
I want to paint this. I want to sand it down and paint it again.
It's time to paint it one more time.
Let's hang that. Let's not hang that. Let's hang that.
Yeah.
Let's paint this room. Let's change this room.
Oh, man.
So that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's probably where it came from. One theory was that Winchester built her house in its strange maze-like manner to confuse the spirits.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know how to find
her. The kitchen.
You can't find me, you can't haunt me. That was her.
Trying to find it.
Yeah. The doors and windows that open to nothing, the unusually shallow stairs, the stairs that end in a ceiling, interior barred windows and trap doors in the floor are used to confirm Winchester's spirituality and poor state of mind.
Spirit's probably pissed. It's like, boo! Oh, dang it. That just goes outside.
That's just a wall. According to Joel Nickel, claims that local residents heard ghostly music coming from the house are explained, this is the creepiest thing I've ever heard, by the fact that Winchester often played the pump organ in the grand ballroom when she was unable to sleep.
Jeez.
Let's scare myself to death when I can't sleep.
Seriously.
A pump organ in a haunted house.
Oh. The neighbor's like, oh, gosh, dang it.
Can you imagine like hearing that from outside in the middle of the night?
Organs are just creepy sounding.
Oh, there's at no time are they
creepy
good to hear.
And they sound like church.
Yeah.
Scary.
Scary as all get out. Urban legend has arisen claiming that she held nightly seances in the Blue Room or in a closet by herself from midnight till 2 a.m, talking to ghosts about what construction should be accomplished the following day.
She can't let it go.
Yeah, no, she was just
Can I go to Lowe's in the morning?
Yeah.
I gotta get this stuff.
What kind of finish should we put on that floor?
You like this color or this color?
What rug would work best? Tell me now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, makes total sense. Anyways, that's the Winchester house.
That one's cool.
Pretty creepy.
Man, I regret not. It was expensive, though. It's like going to a theme park.
Yeah.
Super expensive.
Yeah, it'd take you all day to get through it, I'm sure.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You walk out a door and fall off the 5th story.
How about Avilla, Missouri? This place has a population of 100 or so residents, but is considered to be one of the living ghost towns on a historic Route 66. The rural village was founded in 1856, and it's the 4th oldest settlement in Jasper County, Missouri. The Avilla Phantom Bushwhacker, or Rotten Johnny Reb, is said to haunt not only the town, but also the Death Tree.
Oh, okay.
Hello. It is also said that during the war, the skull of a Confederate bushwhacker was found. Rather than burying it, it was hung from a tree as a warning to other bushwhackers. We don't want no bushwhackers around here. You remember the bushwhackers, the wrestlers? Uh-huh. Yeah, they were great. They did this thing, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. As a result, the ghost of Rotten Johnny Reb searches the town and surrounding woods for his head and for Yankees to kill.
Riding Johnny Red.
I know, there's gotta be a
searching
song.
for his head. Riding Johnny Red.
We don't want no bushwhackers around this place. Yeah. Many deaths were blamed on him over the years, with the legend.
I don't know. Johnny killed him.
Yeah, I ain't killed that boy. That's Run Johnny Reb did that, I guarantee.
I run him over. Johnny Red. Yeah.
I don't know what happened, officer. I saw someone.
Oh, yeah, that Johnny.
Yeah, write down on that paper that it was Ron Johnny
Crime
Reb.
solved. Johnny Red.
100% crime solve rate from me, Sheriff of Jester County.
Everyone, Johnny Red.
Johnny Reb. Wanted, Johnny Reb, right there. He ain't got no head. Easy to spot. Okay? Anyways,
easy.
According to the old legend, the only way to end the curse and to put Rotten Johnny's spirit into rest is to find his skull, cut it down from the tree, bury it, or set it ablaze on holy ground.
Easy enough.
Not hard. The problem is you can't find the damn tree.
Or the head.
Or the head. Yeah, so anyways. Probably even more spooky than Rotten Johnny Reb and the ghost tree are the multiple sightings of Avilla's shadow folk. Oh, that is a shadow folk.
I don't know. Johnny Reb sounds pretty terrible.
I've been seeing a shadow folk, sir. These ghostly figures.
Something tells me people in this town are just crazy.
I know. The ghostly figures have been seen through windows, wandering through the halls of abandoned homes, and even strolling down empty roads in town. The shadow folk are dark figures resembling people, but they're just shadows without people to cast them. Just a shadow.
That's
Anyways,
interesting.
This place is creepy. The Houston Zoo.
There.
Yeah, did you know the Houston Zoo is haunted?
I didn't know that.
This might be my favorite story of all time.
Houston.
I don't know why they haven't made a movie about this story yet, because it's amazing. Hans Nagel, I don't know how to say that. He was a German man employed by the city of Houston in 1922 to work at the zoo. He acted as the face of the park, wowing visitors and young and old with his ability to tame wild beasts on sight. He took animals that were unwanted and earned their trust, training them to awe zoo patrons, right? This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was a media sensation and was popular fodder for newsreels, according to the Houston Zoo's official blog. His weekly lion taming shows were recommended entertainment. This is when zoos were less concerned about conservation and education. They were places full of stunts, excitement, and occasional bloodshed. Sounds way more fun to go to zoos back then, to be honest with you. His animal training style, which was more circus than respectful, is off-putting to some animal lovers. He once transported a bear of undetermined size in the backseat of his car to Houston all the way from Port Arthur.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
They don't nice seat.
They don't want bears in
inside
cars.
the cab. That's
inside
fine.
the cab. Yeah.
Otherwise,
seems like
locked
he's
in a
treating them
cage
nice.
in a trail, in a train car.
He also once saddled and rode a zebra.
That's awesome.
Winning a bet among friends that he could do it. But he had some troubles with these animals as well. In 1924, he was hospitalized for 3 weeks from an alligator bite, which is obviously...
One bite will do it.
That'll do it. In 1925, he was laid up by a raccoon and a monkey attack at the same time. They ganged up on him.
Raccoons?
Yeah. Raccoon and a monkey they went after him. In 1928, he was stepped on by a 5-ton elephant. In 1931, he was opened up by a leopard.
Oh,
wow, that's
that
bad
sounds
news.
gross.
Later, Caesar, a 450-pound lion, would have killed him, but for the quick rescue efforts of his assistants. So he lived through that.
Wow.
In other times, he was injured by a badger, a porcupine, a zebra, a tiger, a bear, and various venomous vermin. Yeah, dude was crazy. He carried a pistol at his side at all times and was known to use it to scare off human intruders at the zoo. According to the Texas Archive of Moving Image, by
Cannot go here. Yes. Like,
get away from here.
Oh, okay.
In 1925, the zoo housed some 400 animals, and Nagel was named its director soon after. This is weird. Most of them were wild caught by Nagel.
That's insane.
How does that even work? You're in Houston. How do you catch a zebra?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't make sense.
Anyway, he was awarded a gold medal by the city of Houston for his heroics in saving a visitor from being mauled by the zoo's Bengal tiger. Probably his fault in the first place, but you got a gold
Obviously,
medal.
he's the one that pulled them all in.
Yeah. It was a visiting park official from North Dakota that was saved from the tiger's jaws by a shot from his pistol. You saved. On a quiet Monday afternoon.
You got any animals I can train?
Yeah. Let me train you,
A
tiger.
trade.
Yeah.
Save your life for
For a trade.
wild animal.
In November 1941, Nigel confronted a park police officer who had spotted him behind a hedge in the park, observing three teenagers in a parked car.
You're
Yeah.
wild. I like wild things.
The wild animals there.
Look at that kid.
They're naked in the car.
Oh, man.
He should sound German, I know, but I'm not getting there
I
with
can't
the
get
voice.
to no.
According to witness statements, the officer asked the teens if they knew they were being watched. You're like, you know that guy over there looking at you. What's happening? As he emerged from the bushes, the officer directed Nigel to his patrol car for a trip downtown to discuss whose business it was policing the park. When the officer attempted to handcuff the zoo manager, he resisted, reached for his holstered sidearm, and got killed by the
No
officer.
kidding?
6 shots into him.
Holy crap.
Yeah. Now, he haunts the zoo. Employees have reported eerie happenings and strange shadows. A few reports have his voice heard late at night, no louder than a whisper.
I ran that zebra.
They were naked in the car.
That
Yeah.
is the weirdest story ever.
I know. And
The
now he
dude,
haunts the
like,
zoo.
Pulled all these in there, trained them himself.
Yeah.
And then got killed because he was.
Watching teenagers in a car.
Oh my God.
I know. Weird, huh?
Oh, wow.
I do have one more for you, though.
Okay.
This is the Excelsior Hotel in Texas. This I didn't know.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Isn't that like a... I don't know.
Medicine?
Well, there's like some from a movie or something. I'm just getting bits and pieces of it in my brain. Yeah. One of the most famous and popular stories in this hotel involves Steven Spielberg.
Oh, really?
Yeah, according to local legend,
That's a cool
Spielberg.
looking,
yeah, it
hotel.
is. He was in the area scouting locations for the 1974 film Sugarland Express.
Never saw it. Did you see it?
No. After a long day of work, Spielberg and company checked into the Excelsior Hotel downtown Jefferson, Texas. According to the story, Spielberg experienced several unexplained happenings. He was staying in the Gould room. Gould. And allegedly tossed his briefcase on a chair, only to have it fly right back at him. Something happened, and it just flew right back at him. There's also reports of bumps in the night
Yeah, they're all.
and flickering lights in the room. Then the kicker, in the late evening, early morning, a small boy in 1800s clothing woke the director up and asked if he was ready for breakfast.
Dear sir, are you ready for breakfast?
Would you like some sausage?
What is this place?
Yeah.
That is weird.
Obviously, according to the story, he immediately gathered up his crew, checked out of the hotel, and got out of town as quickly as possible. Another thing that is known for a fact is that the idea of poltergeist came from his brain a short time after this
Did he
supposed
do
haunt.
Poltergeist?
I think he was the writer-producer.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I didn't
he
know
didn't
that.
direct it. I
Okay.
don't think. I could be wrong though. Despite not directing the movie himself,
Told you answered your question.
he was super involved in every
I didn't
aspect
know
of the
that.
story and production.
Wow.
Crazy story, huh?
That is super crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dear sir, would you like breakfast?
Would you like some
What'd you get in here?
sausage, pancakes, eggs? Get the hell out of here.
You want some hash?
Yeah.
That
Anyways,
is crazy.
yeah, he was in like 1800s clothing. But if
Yeah,
you want like some
weird.
real like awesome clothing, you should go to Off the Grid Surplus.
Yeah.
You really should.
Yeah.
Because they inspire greater connection through adventure. They do that by creating extremely functional and everyday wearable products for a great price to take you off the grid. How do they do it, Cameron? They simplify your clothing options so you only need one piece of clothing instead of 3 or 4.
One big old onesie.
That's right. They combine the best features from outdoor, workwear, and tactical into one everyday wearable package. Check out their site, offthegridsurplus.com. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS15, and you're going to get an extra 15% off. That ain't nothing to sneeze at. I think that's the saying, isn't it? I don't know.
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Anyways, go to Off the Grid Surplus. Use our code CASUALPREPPERS.
What year do we live in?
I don't. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, boy. Yeah.
It's a grand old outfit you can buy. Look in the magazine.
Good Lord.
That's awesome.
Anyways, that is some haunted places we found.
I was going to mention one more.
Okay,
I
awesome.
want to talk about Brazil because they're very superstitious there.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of weird stuff too. But I want to talk about, I hadn't heard about the Amazon rainforest having a mythical creature.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The mythical Brazilian Encantado. A name that roughly translates to enchanted one is a creature that you don't want to encounter.
Okay.
These mysterious monsters are believed to live deep within the Amazon waters and take the shape of dolphins or sea snakes.
I found a sneeze snake in the
Snake by the sneeze snore.
I got a sneeze.
And
ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Exactly.
We were getting there.
Yeah.
We were getting there.
But lured by dancing and local festivities, an Encantado morphs into a seductive human-like figure.
So you have to dance for it?
Superior musical talent and beauty is irresistible to their unsuspecting human prey. Once bewitched under the spell of Encantado, the victim is kidnapped and never seen again.
That's not a good ending.
Yeah. So these supernatural shapeshifters are frequently sighted, and the jungle residents have been known to avoid walking near the river embankments at night, fearing they will encounter the Encantado.
Encantado.
Legend says, be wary of shapeshifters. So we have the Windwalkers. I don't say that. Oh my gosh. Skinwalkers here, and Brazil has, I don't know, the skin swimmers.
Encantado. Sounds like it's
But I
going to
was
be
like,
a Disney movie
yeah,
soon.
I thought that one was interesting enough because I actually had not heard about that one. So
Wow.
be careful.
They don't talk about it down there in Brasil?
No, they talk about everything else. Every other scary thing
Do
that
they?
can come up with. Yeah.
They like that stuff.
Very. Yeah. But anyway.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, that's
some scary stuff.
That is.
I got a lot to visit in Europe.
I know, man. We got to go do
Europe's look really cool. I think the stories are better in the United States.
We're storytellers. That's what what we do.
Yeah.
We have Hollywood.
It's just better.
It's just better. Yeah.
You know? But there you go.
Thank
That
you.
is scary. I hope it scared your britches right off.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to sneeze
Ain't nothing
at.
to sneeze at. All right,
Is
guys.
that an actual saying?
I don't know. I don't know where it came from. Like, it came from my brain. So, like, I don't know why I would say it if I hadn't heard it before. But
that ain't nothing to sneeze at.
that ain't nothing to sneeze at, boy. I don't know. It's got to be, right?
I'm trying to see. This is
See if
super
it comes
important
up.
at the end of the podcast.
Yeah, we got to know. People need to know.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Is it an actual
Means
saying?
something that is not inconsequential matter. Yeah. Not
So that's right, right?
Yeah. Must have read it in some book.
I don't know where it
'cause you
came
read.
from. It must have came from something, but like
Nothing
I
to
don't think
sneeze
I've
at.
ever said it out loud.
That's funny. Those little sayings, I don't ever know any of them.
Yeah, I know it's funny.
So. Anyway.
Awesome. All right, boys and girls, thank you. Stay survived.